Okay, so I will be doing number 10 for the video project that was assigned. So the beginning of this problem starts with the equation fxy equals -12, -1/12 x to the third plus xy plus 1/8 y squared, and the part A asks for the partial derivative of fx and fy. So when we take the partial derivatives, the first partial derivatives, we should get fx equals -1/4 x squared plus y, and fy equals x plus 1/4 y. And we will use these two equations for part B, which asks for all the critical points of f. So in order to find the critical points, it is when the derivative is 0, so we will set the first equation fx to 0, and then we will solve for y, which should give us 1/4 x squared. So we use this y equals to plug into the fy equation, where it equals x plus 1/4 times 1/4 x squared, since we plug in this equation into the y right there. Now this eventually gives us the answer x equals 0 and -16. So in order to find the actual critical points and not just the x coordinate, we have to plug this x equals back into this equation right here. So when we do so, when we plug in 0, we will get 0, and when we plug in -16, we get 64. So when we put that together, the critical points of this equation would be 0, 0, and -16, and 64. So that would be part B, and for part C, it is asked for us to find the second partial derivatives of fxx, fxy, fyx, and fyy. So for xx, we should get something like 1/2 x, and then fxy is 1, and then fyy is 1/4, and since fxy is also equal to fyx, it is also 1. So we use these equations to now classify the critical points, so determining whether it's relative min, relative max, saddle point, and such. So in order to do that, we must use this equation here. And when we do so, when we plug in all the numbers, we should get 1/1/8 x minus 1. And to classify the points, we do a little chart. So we use the critical point 0, 0. So then we plug in the 0 for the x, we should get a negative number, which then results to being a saddle point. So then when we plug in -16 as the x from the x coordinate, we get a positive number. And if we look at the fxx and plug in -16, we should get a positive number also. So this would determine that it is a relative min. So there were no relative max, and there's a relative min at -16 and 64, and there's a saddle point at 0, 0.